Do not watch, comment, or rate or subscribe. Pause the video, read the description below, and then from that point on, you can watch the video if you want to give me the page view. And by the way, comment, rate, and subscribe don't really do any good to a channel that's already on the shit list on YouTube. And on a totally unrelated note, we're going to talk about ESG, a measurement or a description of the impact of a company or business or group on its society and sustainability scoring, or something like that. Environment, sustainability, etc. This is used in the financial industry so that people can say, I want to invest in companies that are going to the new types of energy systems, not using old school stuff. That's not progressivism. That's, I want to invest in things that the oil industry is pretty standardized and it's stayed. If you want to do a radical amount of money in a radically short period of time, investing in solar at one time was considered the deal. It's a crapshoot, but it can pay off heavily. Hey, wait a minute, these people seem to not want to invest in certain companies because they have shitty reputations. I'll A, invest in those companies, or B, acknowledge that I was told by the person handing me money I shouldn't invest in them, and maybe we should score that. This is done by the financial industry and others. There's many of them. ESG is one of many, apparently. I've seen 3 or 4. I advised a relative and a couple of friends and a person who paid me at one time to use certain websites to find out which companies to invest in. And a lot of people want to do mutual funds or whatever. You can tell them, I want you to use this scoring system or the others and do a good job. There's another one that's a lot like this that's the opposite for conservative, a real conservative, where you'd invest in companies that have a fantastic track record of doing very small incremental improvements in your stock portfolio, regardless of what they do, that don't get sued and don't get in the news very often. These are the companies you never hear about. They may be doing more evil than anything in the world, but they reliably stay above inflation, which is the entire point. The first thing is you put in advice. Invest your money in things that stay just above inflation level and can escalate it so you get more money out than you put in. Not much more. Don't be radical about it. And have some radical stuff you're investing in because it could pay off. Treat it like playing the ponies. Don't put the majority of it in it. If you want to retire with enough money to take care of that inevitable cancer treatment that you may have, or lung transplant, or any other crazy crap you can't anticipate, you need the reliable money, not the burst money. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the standpoint it goes under. It's not cancel culting. It's literally something financial industry, which is not really honest and doesn't give a shit about those things, came up with, and or other entities did, and it gets used by them. We can call it the green score. You can say it's Al Gore. We can start rhyming more crap here, but it is what it is. It isn't what you might perceive it to be. Let's move on. Elon Musk, has he ever said anything in the past that was controversial that got him cancel cultured? Yeah. Did he lean into it and actually do it on purpose? Yeah, and he even said he was doing it on purpose to make a point. Do I believe that he has opinions that I don't agree with? Yeah. Do I believe that he's a raging, bigot in some way? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is, but I can't prove it, and it doesn't matter to me personally. Do I believe that I would run ads on anything associated with him ever? As long as I could decide that it wasn't going to make me look bad by having those ads run next to something I don't like. Well, Wabtec, no. I get to filter just like everybody filters me. Right? Okay, so Twitter started showing ads from a company next to things they didn't agree with. Nasty postings about whatever subject matter. Twitter allowed actual overt pornography at one point, including videos. Lots of people got angry about that. They also had people putting up pro-Nazi crap and pro-Putin stuff, and also pro-Biden stuff. You can say, I don't want you to do that. Now, Twitter could have a universal policy, you're not allowed to decide that, or have a universal policy saying you're allowed to do filtering. They could also say, if you find an individual instance, we'll just cancel that ad and somebody else's ad will run. Twitter didn't fix this so that IBM was happy, so they pulled ads until they can fix it, or they decided not to mess with them anymore. Now, A, Elon Musk was being reasonable on Twitter about this, or B, he associated it with someone accusing him of anti-Semitism, or C, whatever you read in the newspaper or off the website you read this from. Okay, what actually happened? Twitter showed IBM's ads next to things they didn't like, nasty postings or something, and when Twitter didn't fix this problem, IBM decided to take their advertisement money somewhere else, and that's pretty much it for a little while or forever, who knows. So what happened? Payback had to happen. I'd like to point out that Elon Musk is an asshole to people who criticize him, just like most people are. So, I mean, he's got the same filter you and I have, so let's not assume more. And yes, he's capable of simply being wrong. He's also capable of getting egomaniac about it and doubling down, just like you and me. We can all do this. And I'm not apologizing for him because he keeps lying about saying overtly that he was the son of an emerald mine owner because he was puffing his chest about it at one point. Okay? No, he lies. He's stupid. He makes mistakes. He wanted people to call a subway a hyperloop. He's an idiot, in my opinion, but he's one of the richest guys on the planet, and he's running one of the few companies I know of that's doing something I could invest in happily. Finding a way, even though it's really hard to do it, to replace the internal combustion system type cars with electric cars and make it actually work. Even going to the extreme end of open sourcing some of the shit so it could be universal, because that's how you do it. He's got his money back out of the investment. Go ahead and do it. Not completely, but he's edging towards it. Okay? Don't like him, but yeah, Tesla's cool. Not Hyperloop. If he dropped Hyperloop, I might have, suggested investing in him. But anyway, let's move on. Can we? So Twitter got ads pulled by, name that company. In this case, it's IBM. So, did he take it well, or did he blow up on Twitter, or be an asshole about it, or make it about him being obsessively egomaniac based, or was he completely reasonable? Elon Musk is not a reasonable person, or we wouldn't have him flying rockets that go up and land tail first. Period. That's the end of it. He's not reasonable. That's going to be good and bad, depending on what you're talking about. Him making rockets and going into space and making Teslas and being just as an unreasonable bastard about it as possible and succeeding in doing something, yeah. Him trying to reinvent the subway, it's just dumb, but okay. Can I control any of this? No. Can you? No. But he isn't Twitter or X. He's the main owner of it. The company made a decision, and he's yelling about personal issues because he's sharing too much. So, now we get to today's subject. Sometimes pimp cosplayer and overtly fake journalist, politicized prankster James O'Keefe posted a video that's probably edited. Even if it isn't edited, I'm going to claim that it could be. I don't trust him. He's been caught repeatedly fucking lying, just lying, propagandizing in the old school way where he would just present enough of the information that you'd agree with him, but not presenting any of the other contravening facts, because that's not the job of a person trying to convince you of something, all the way to falsifying evidence that was brought up in Congress that had to be pointed out. He faked his data. He dressed up as a pimp at one point to try to make a point. Now, if he was just doing prank shit like he originally started, it would still be politicized and bullshit, but it wouldn't be as deceptive. Anyway, what was the video about? I don't care. Somebody else has to confirm it. But there is a copy of it confirmed, so okay, we're going to use it. Or can we? I still don't know if it's authentic, but let's move on. It depicts an all-staff call inside of IBM where the CEO named Arvind Arvind Krishna as the CEO of IBM, was having an all-staff call talking about bonuses for upper-level managers or whatever who can create a percentage point improvement or more on certain underrepresented groups in the company being hired. Not firing people. Firing people is actually against the rules under a whole bunch of reasons, but there's no law that says that you can't hire a group of people preferentially under, you could call it affirmative action or a legal form of discrimination if you want to, but the idea is to give them first come, first serve, first push to the head of the line to get that out of the way and then hire the others. The idea is that what they're dealing with is, if you're not aware, if you can't read between the lines, they ended up hiring way too many people that doesn't represent the population of the country or the area. And that groups that they weren't hiring enough from had overrepresentative numbers of people who are very hireable. That's a problem in your company. You're not hiring them enough. How? I've dealt with this personally. I ran a business at one time, and I ended up being a mid-level manager. And I asked someone, you interviewed 20 of these people, 4 of them were Spanish speakers. Why didn't you hire them? What do you mean? Well, the majority of the people showing up that week were all Spanish-speaking individuals who grew up in the United States, southern United States. That's like and I said, it's like refusing to hire somebody with a southern accent. We'll call this a very southern accent. Why didn't you hire them? Plain answer. I couldn't understand what they were saying. So it's speech defect. So I re-interviewed them. And I found they were perfectly readable and communicatable and I can understand them. So we hired one because he was the best one of the bunch. And the others were lackluster, and I put them on the back burner. But I had to explain to him, are you easily able to understand him over a phone? Why? Because phones fuck everything up. It's called the phone test. I've been the token, what are you thinking? Portlander. Not color, skin, age, range, gender. I was a Portlander. I had a job at one place where nobody was from Portland. So nobody understood what the fuck anybody was saying. There's a lot of stuff used by people talking in Portland. So I got to be the face man, as they call it. That's what you call it. So I got to be out front, which keeps getting to be my job. I'm not really good at this. But I communicated with people because that was my job. And they asked, why is everybody else back there from other countries? No, they're from other parts of the United States. Oh, yeah, seriously. They were all American citizens. They were all born here. It's just they all had accents from... One of them's Italian. I mean, don't even get me started on dealing with that guy. Just trying to communicate with him. But anyway, so was this affirmative action because they were slipping behind and it looked like they were racially discriminating or not? Now, at some point, Arvind said some things that were really stupid and I'd fire him for it. I'm not joking. He won't apologize because none of this was illegal. It would be legal discrimination or affirmative action. Some were claiming that they were going to fire people because that's a presumption people make. There are laws against firing people based on certain things, but not laws against hiring people preferentially. Doing something nice for somebody based on your biases isn't against the damn law. It isn't. As long as it doesn't have the effect of ruining a bunch of people because of their skin color or whatever. So what happens when your company decides they don't want to run ads on a website that's becoming notorious for tolerating neo-Nazis? Well, you get angry and have people pointing this out. You get angry at them and maybe edit a video. I don't know. Now, do I believe this all-staff call is being edited? Probably a little bit, if not a lot. I don't care. Do I believe that Arvind did something wrong? A couple of things he said are at that point, I'm like, nope, you shouldn't have done that. Bad. And now you've embarrassed the company, so you should be fired. Do I believe it's a bad thing for them to notice, hey, we're not hiring anybody of this group, and we're not representing a good percentage? Yeah, you fix it. So, ESG has been explained, Musk being an idiot on some things but not others explained, and the other thing. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with it.